How to carve on a concrete snowboard. I bet you've never heard of freeboarding before, but this board lets you carve the streets in so many different ways, just like on a snowboard. And in this video, I'll be giving a guide as to how you can get started with snowboarding the streets, starting with a board buying guide, a tutorial on how to carve, and finally a city adventure with the freeboard. Let's go! When it comes to buying a freeboard, there's actually not that many options. You can either buy new or you can buy second-hand. If you're buying new, you have two options, the Freeboard 5 and the Freeboard 5X. While if you buy second-hand, your best options would be the G3 or G3R series. The G3 and the G3R are the absolute cheapest options. You can often get them on second-hand marketplaces for around $100 to $200. This is easily the best value option. So if you're just starting out and you can find one of these options near you, I would highly recommend picking one up. Because not only can they be used for freestyle and downhill, they're also incredibly cheap and they're very durable, which is a big benefit for when you're first learning. But if you want to buy new and support the mission of Freeboard, all while possibly learning a little bit quicker, then the Freeboard 5X is definitely a compelling option. It's believed by some to be the easiest way to learn and the best for downhill. This argument being supported by the fact that freeboard legends like Luta or Dino from Greece, both of which focus primarily on downhill, have switched to predominantly riding on the Freeboard 5X. I like to use it here and there, although I do find it slightly awkward to do jumps with because I don't want to break the trucks, which unfortunately is quite a shame because it is really fun to do jumps on the 5X. But if you want to ride mostly on downhill and can afford the $400 price tag, then it's definitely an option worth considering. Finally, there's the Freeboard 5, which is starting to be used by all of the pro riders, and they're definitely making it look like a good board to have if you want to do freestyle as well as downhill. But roughly speaking, it offers the same as a G3 or a G3R. Okay, so let's say you've got your board. How do you ride it? Well, in the last 4 months, I've been teaching my friend how to freeboard, and these are the steps I'd follow if I were to teach someone today. Step 1 would be to get used to standing on the board. Get used to transitioning from your toes to your heels. Keep your knees bent and try to avoid standing on the center wheels. The point of this exercise will be to get used to riding the freeboard like a skateboard. You want to hold your toe side and your heel side for as long as possible when you go down and avoid going on the center wheels, because those wheels are the ones where you tend to lose control as a beginner. So once you've practiced doing this standing still, I'd recommend finding a wide road and try to stick to one edge only, for example the heel side or the toe side. Here's a nice demonstration from my copy where you can see him holding the heel side and then drifting to stop. It can be very difficult to initiate the drift to stop when you're beginning. It might help to look in the direction that you're wanting to drift. For example here, looking over his left shoulder would have helped initiate this turn. The reason being because looking to his left would be turning his line of sight in the same direction as he's trying to turn the board. This logic holds for more complicated tricks as well. Always look in the direction that you're wanting to go while riding a freeboard. So once you can drift to stop on your heel side and your toe side, try to link these edges together in order to travel further down the hill. And remember that depending on which way you're trying to drift, there'll be two kinds of wheels, edge catching wheels and drifting wheels. Here's the same drawing for an anti-clockwise spin. For example, in this clip, I'm trying to spin backside. The board will be spinning clockwise, and so the drifting wheels will be my toe side wheels, as you can see here. If you're going to try this, make sure to keep your center of mass well over the drifting wheels, not the edge catching wheels. With enough practice, it will all start to make sense. Don't be demoralized if you can't do it the first try, because freeboarding is notoriously difficult to learn. Once you're used to drifting to stop, I would recommend trying to do small carves as you transition from edge to edge. Here's a very exaggerated version of me doing these carves very quickly to go down a very narrow path. And the point of doing this is to avoid going too fast and to stay at a speed that you feel comfortable with. In my opinion, these carves distinguish freeboarding from any other skateboard because through carving, you can literally go down anything on a freeboard. The last kind of carve that I wanted to mention would be an overslide, especially front side, because not only are you drifting the whole time, you can also turn left and right while doing it, making it the best way to cut speed on a freeboard. The most helpful advice I can give for learning overslides would be to practice riding in switch, because switch riding actually helps you learn all kinds of tricks in the process. So if you can drift to stop and carve, I would highly recommend repeating all of those steps but in switch. With all of that practice, you will be freeboarding like a beast in no time. So now that you know how to freeboard, let's see what it's like to actually go on a freeboard adventure. Today we've got the Freeboard 5X, I've just finished work and we're going to go and carve some spots with Freeboard's best downhill board with the springs on the sides. Let's go. Yo, so as you can see, there's an amazing view and then on this side it's incredibly misty. So that's English weather for you. I'd been wanting to hit these spots for ages, and it was incredibly satisfying to use the 5X for them, especially when the springs trucks allow you to carve more than the other boards. So I've just found a little mouse that a cat's been trying to hunt down. Look, you can see it. Look at him. He's so cool, he's been caught red-handed. So I think that's the best that I can do to save the little mouse. We will continue on our freeboard adventure. I have tried to hunt the cat down, but the mouse is probably fucked, let's be real. You know, I tried. It was a very cute mouse, that's the problem. So next up was the spot, and to get there we'd have to travel through a massive cloud of mist. We've arrived at the spot and it is incredibly misty. To the mist tunnel, let's go. As the mist started to settle, I had the classic freeboard experience of someone asking what it is.
Yeah, that's it. That is so cool.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
It's called a freeboard. It's like snowboarding on concrete. It's really, really fun. Yeah, we love it.
Can you catch edges?
Like, quite badly.
Yeah.
It's always a lot of fun to explain freeboarding to people that are enthusiastic about it. It turns out that these guys snowboarded, so who knows, maybe they'll be freeboarding sometime soon. Once the mist cleared, there was this incredible view of a cloud of mist lower in the horizon. It's stuff like this that makes freeboarding trips very unique. I finished off with one last run before sunset and called it a day. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then definitely check the channel out. I make weekly freeboarding videos, and I'll soon be trying snowboarding, so stick around for that if you're interested. Otherwise, have a good one.